You'll see guys struggle for years to never get out of that truck, and most never will.
If you could share some insight, what kind of tweaked your vision to like, okay, let's, that system's not really going to work to make $1 million a year. What was like the turning point for you to be like?
I mean, I get recognized in public sometimes in my area.
Yep.
And people are like, I've seen you on the thing.
Because I'm not going to change whether you're a go-getter or not. I'm just going to help you if you really are. Welcome back to the Clean Money Podcast. Today I have two very special guests, Hunter and Jack with NanoSeal. In a second, they will share their story. But really quick, thank you, God, for this opportunity. Thank you to Sailfish Spray for letting us use the location. If you like any of this equipment, check it out, sailfishspray.com. And thank you to c3skids.com, best rigs in the game. Huge supporter of the channel. Thank you guys. Let's get right into this episode. You two, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. I know it was a little bit of a trek, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. So go ahead and explain the story that we talked about, you guys getting into business together, revenue in the second year. Just go ahead.
So I'll start with how I got into the business. I've been in it since 2018. Started off, my buddy got a pressure washing trailer, and I was like, hey, if you ever need help, and started picking up, and then we're like, let's get 2 machines on this trailer. So we got 2 8-gallon machines, started getting really busy, bringing in leads on both sides, and just took off from there, did that for a while, and tried out some other things, came back into it, and started my own thing. Met him pretty crazy way.
Yep.
And been running ever since.
Okay, so you two were doing 2 separate things, then linked, correct?
I mean, it was pretty short together. So I was only doing my own thing for like weeks by the time I met Jack, because I'm down here in South Florida, for unspecified reasons that people see on other platforms. So I'm like, we're gonna paver seal, screw construction. I'm gonna do all this other stuff, and I have this, I'm in sales pretty much. So I had door-to-door crews. We're trying to close in on residential paver sealing customers, and of course I don't have any equipment at the time, so I'm having to use pressure washing subcontractors. Because we basically started this business for $0. When I mean $0, there ain't a damn dollar that went to this business before we started closing sales to generate revenue, then in order to get into paid traffic and this, that, and the other. So I'm subcontracting out pressure washers, and by the time I'm on my 7th pressure washer, because I've gotten tired of these other guys, Jack shows up. And we met by a chance encounter from the weirdest scenario you've probably ever heard, which is awesome. And so Jack starts showing up. It was this time last year, because we have Facebook memories. This time last year, Jack and I met. I want to believe it was on a job by Grace Allen, still a cool customer to this day. We met in Victoria Park. And Jack came in on this job. All right, Jack, I need you to pressure wash this thing because I got to seal it. Boom. And then it just led into one thing after another. But then Jack and I still subbed each other back and forth there for a little bit until we realized the more I kept talking to Jack and telling him my vision for this. And then I kept telling him my vision. And then he was like, yeah, this sounds good. He was a little hesitant at first. But we did eventually join up. And when I tell you, I already know when we linked up, things weren't, we have a great relationship, but business wasn't good at first.
Yeah.
Man, we struggled. Man, let me tell you, we struggled. There are times when I can't believe this guy still followed me into the abyss, because this thing was tanking for a while. I mean, we're spending money. Probably we're not leveraged, but we're spending money on these ads, and we're really cranking the revenue because he runs operations and I run sales. And there were times like we're barely paying the rent. If it wasn't for, some other people, I'm borrowing money, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for borrowing money, we wouldn't be here today. But we did have a vision, and we always knew this was going to work because I've ran service-based businesses before. But starting a business to go from 0 to any revenue is hard. Let alone I pushed the limit a little bit too much, maybe, to go from 0 to 30 grand a week,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to get to this. We were talking about maybe we can hit 10 grand a week. And by the time we hit 10, we're already at 30 grand a week. But I pushed it too much. And a lot of times don't ever expand too fast because it can bite you. And if it wasn't for a 2-man team doing the 60 and 70 hours a week, it wouldn't have been possible, because we went from $0 in revenue this time last year, 0. January 21st or so, we were, to November, we crossed $1 million in the first years because there's two of us.
Yeah.
There's two people that work in tandem together so well, and people see me on the internet all the time. Comparable because I'm in all the commercials. If you're in our area, like we're blasting ads. I mean, at some time we've gone up to $300, $400, and $500 a day in advertising because we have sales teams that can go out and do this stuff because he can go manage operations.
Yeah.
So from leads to deposit on a job. So we take in all the incoming leads, follow-ups, booking the estimates, to scheduling the jobs. And from scheduling, at the moment the crew shows up over there, Jack takes over until the end of payment.
Okay.
That two-part system works better than probably what most people are doing out here because it's very difficult, Rusty, run yourself, to run estimates, do
course.
advertising, do the jobs, but you know what's going on 100% of the time.
Yeah.
The moment you start delegating things to other people, there's the moment things get complicated.
Yeah.
And you can make a lot of mistakes that way. And
I'm sure, Jack,
Absolutely.
I'm sure you can relate because you're more on the service side of the pressure washing business, but you know what it's like to need that quality. I know you do too because you're overseeing the operation, but Jack, it sounds like you're on the field more and you know what it's like to, micromanage people to an extent. You want everything to be perfect.
Exactly.
It's hard to let go. But like you're in the position where you can see like, okay, like Jack, someone can do as good as Jack. We just need to train them. And that's where I'm at, like getting my brother trained up to where I don't have to worry about it, which we already do. He's working. He goes, makes money, does what I can do. But it's just hard to let that hat go and be like, I need to back up. I need to run my business. I need to run a business, not
Exactly.
just be in the field.
And we all, obviously, both of us, we hold ourselves to the highest professional standard, and you want to put that on your guys to know exactly what needs to be done on a property when you arrive, have the proper systems in place, have a structure. Because every day is different, every job's different. And, just the basic things like a start time every morning, depending on where you're going, testing all the equipment before you get to a job site, all that kind of stuff, it all adds up.
Yeah.
And you want everything to go smoothly.
Yeah.
Things happen, we figure it out, but for the most part, that's the basics.
Yeah. I want to touch back on what you were saying, Hunter. So you guys went from struggling, which I think every pressure washer, for the most part, we always talk about it in the podcast. This is usually everyone's first endeavor in business. So you guys went from struggling to the next following year, correct me if I'm wrong, to over $1 million in revenue, your first full year together.
this is actually January. This is our first full year. We met in January of last year. So January 21st, it was somewhere around there, like January 18th to 20th, we met about this time last year.
Okay, so really quick, January to January, over $1 million in
Yeah,
revenue.
it was over $1 million by November. But I mean, $30,000 a week is typically, like 1.3 million a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's up there somewhere like 20, I don't know the math. But we went from barely getting $10,000 and struggling because then we're paying guys, we're paying this, paying ads, crazy ad spend.
Mm-hmm.
But once they got lined up, and we were booked and we were able to pull another crew and double book the schedule and train them up, and then it started going pretty quick from there. That was but it is a two-man operation.
Okay.
With the teams. Without that, it does not happen. The
Yeah.
system I tried to do, stupid idea. Would not go back and do that again. It worked, though.
Yeah.
It worked barely, and it works now.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we click, and we thought it was a great idea because I have the experience. I've been doing it for 7 years. I've definitely learned a lot, and I know what needs to be done and stuff. But he has the other side of like marketing and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of clicks just having someone handling a whole nother side of the business, which is so important, and then having the actual side where you're doing the work. You can always, the most important part of this business is sales.
Oh,
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
sales, you ain't got nothing.
Of course. Any business.
I don't
Any
care.
business, yeah.
I don't care how good an operator you are. You could be the best at any
Exactly.
industry. It does not matter. I
Yeah.
had somebody say that to me. Hunter, you're good at sales, but I'm a great operator. And I remember saying instantly, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Inconsequential. Doesn't matter. If
Yeah.
you don't have sales, you'll never be on site to perform these tasks that you're speaking of. But don't get me wrong. We were running this together for a while. I was out there in the field doing
Okay.
this stuff.
I was going to say, the Facebook pictures, you're out in the field.
Dying in the Florida heat, jumping in pools because you're dying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad. And we didn't have any help, and we're running these massive job sites in Miami that are 10,000 square feet, midsummer, on our own with equipment that's too small to actually be out here on this job to begin with. 4-gallon-a-minute machines. Okay, tough stuff.
Yeah.
But we've been there. Okay?
Double the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes so long. And if you know you're 10.5 gallons, you run right through it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So to get back to you guys turning things around, you found a system pretty much. And systems, as you guys know, is everything. You guys found your cup of tea. You got field manager, ads, marketing. And like you said, that's super valuable to have two like-minded people on a team. That's, in my eyes, like every team I look at, it's just double the performance. No matter what area you're in, it doesn't really matter. But you have two heads going at it, and that's legit. So
well, it's risky. People don't get along. How many partnerships you ever hear of in this stuff?
Exactly.
We get along. Perfect.
yeah,
I mean, I am polar. I'm super high strung. He is super laid back. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite. We have zero issues when it comes to getting along. That's. I mean, for me, that's tough because
we talked on previous podcasts a lot about relationships and business, and it seems like you guys are friends outside of work.
we actually don't hang out at all.
You don't hang out at all.
Hang out at all.
Here and there.
Okay.
Occasionally.
Okay.
It's so occasional.
So you guys know where to separate it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
Because
we keep this down. I mean, even our communications during the day are relatively limited. Even though it seems like we have group chats and stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll give a morning update, know what's going on, an evening update, and maybe small stuff throughout the day. But there's always internal communications going on, so we always know what's going on.
We'll definitely go grab a steak now and then,
Yeah.
obviously hang out. But
good.
for the most part, pretty much really don't need to see each other. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good that there's that fine line.
It's
Because
not
you
even
guys
fine.
seem like great friends. That's why I assumed that. But
Because we get along.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's good.
Most partnerships in business ain't going to work.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, you're going to see people that, they split off, now they're running two separate businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what took us so long to actually team up. We worked together for a couple months, and then we're like, are you ready to do this thing?
Yeah.
All right, let's quit messing around. But I know he actually took the risk more than I did at the time, because his business was actually doing well enough to pay the bills, this, that, and the other. You joined me, and then we got two people to pay, and you didn't pay the bills there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the truth of it.
Yeah.
But by the time month 6, 7, and 8 rolled around, I mean, it was over by then. By the time month 6 ran around, we're racing.
Okay.
We're racing at that point.
yeah, so I was doing a lot of pressure washing, mostly pressure washing, roofs, stuff like that. And definitely doing a lot of paver sealing. But I did like the whole thing he was saying about, straight paver sealing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And being in the business, we had a lot of, customers that I've had that were still getting work, and we've done some pretty big apartment complexes and stuff like that.
Nice. I wanted to ask, with you guys doing just paver sealing primarily, so you guys still upsell when you can a little bit of washing,
course.
just add to the
Upsells all
ticket?
time. Upsell warranties, upsell roofs, upsell everything.
Okay. So do you find from you, just like you said, coming from mainly pressure washing with a side thing of paver sealing, have you found it more beneficial to jump into the primary focus of paver sealing and then
Absolutely.
upsell the washing as you're
Definitely.
already there?
So people are already looking for the service, and it's a premier service, it's not cheap. So when you're there, you can always point out things, or they'll ask you about something else, and you can just add it into a full package.
Yep.
And it's really the best way to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Because we used to be the same way, pressure washing, and then we would try to upsell the paver sealing. But now, within the last year, we focused on paver sealing, and it's probably like 80% of our business. And of course, we'll do roofs. That's
Right.
where we came from. We don't plan to just switch to solely one thing and just be leaving money on the table. But it's controversial because some, like Duragard, the other one, his brother, Premier
Premier.
Coatings, they just strictly will turn down and subcontract pressure washing. So they say.
Exactly.
So it's like, where do you guys think the fine line of look more official by only doing paver sealing and not claiming to be a pressure washer, or just take it all? Because obviously every paver sealer probably pressure washed at one point, and if they didn't, they know exactly what to do.
In order to seal pavers, you have to pressure wash.
Of course, yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're full service. We can handle anything, but primarily paver sealing is what we're going for.
Okay. Hunter, do you think that you're sacrificing the look of your company by still adding pressure washing? That's what I'm getting at. Okay.
No.
Okay.
You're telling me I'm not going to take money from somebody for a service? Oh, that's ridiculous. You know what's better than no money? Any money.
Yeah.
We're going to take it, okay? If you're going to upsell a service, you're going to add, hundreds of dollars, possibly thousands of dollars onto an invoice, and you only have to be there for, X amount of time difference. It doesn't seem cost effective to not offer additional services. You're already set up for these services. Might as well just hit it. Soft wash the house, soft wash the roof, all this stuff. It doesn't make sense not to.
Okay. I'm right there with you because I'm not trying to look like just a paver sealer. I'd be leaving so much money on the table in reality. But going back to the shift of your systems, you guys going from struggling, kind of making you not pay the bills anymore and still trusting in him, to touch up on that with as much sauce as you want to spill, because my audience is one truck, one guy, maybe a helper. That's the majority of these guys. So if you could share some insight, what kind of tweaked your vision to like, okay, let's, that system's not really going to work to make $1 million a year. What was like the turning point for you to be like?
I was going to go straight from zero to out of the truck. There was going to be no in between. You'll see guys struggle for years to never get out of that truck, and most never will. But it's not actually as hard. If you can count the leads coming in, we know approximately how many people are going to message us per week, even so much a day. I know what my cost of customer acquisition is. I know what my cost per message is. I know what all of these things are. So if I can set that budget over there, then I know what I have to charge over here. I know about how long it's going to take, and it makes it pretty simple with basic analytics and quick math to know exactly what's going on. And most people are out here winging it. They're not running these businesses as a business. They're running it as a transactional experience. They're only doing this job to get this money to do this. They're not even thinking about setting up their businesses as businesses or companies or corporations if they wanted to scale so that they can possibly sell them one day. Most guys are just him in a truck. They're running the service, one thing, just collecting that cash on delivery just to pay the bills. And then if you looked at this as an actual organization, like other people are running businesses, like a Lowe's or something like that, then you can build a company to scale to exit. And that's typically, what you would like to do. You don't want to put all this sweat equity in something to not be able to sell it one day. And, it's kind of like you're paying into a house that you can never sell. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
No, you better build a team around it and then have other stuff going on to sell it. But of course, our vision for this is significantly different than others. The set plan was 3-stage plan, and we're on stage 2 as of this process right now, and it's working out thus far. We're actually ahead of schedule, which I didn't think was going to happen.
Yeah, it's rare. Yeah. That's good. You guys came in, and Jack, I didn't know about you until today, until he messaged me that you're on the way. So it's good to meet you. I'm glad to see you guys doing it together. But I think of
all the time.
Yeah, I think of NanoSeal and I think of you
because I'm in front of the camera all the time.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
For the commercials.
Yeah.
I'm like John Morgan, okay? But I'm pretty sure there's other ones over there.
Yeah.
There's other ones over there. I mean, his wife is the other Morgan and Morgan.
Okay.
You didn't
even
think about this all the time. But yeah, if you get it out there, I mean, you can hit even in a 15 or 30 mile service radius. 300,000 people see our ads a month. That's a good amount. I get recognized in public sometimes in my area.
Yep.
And people are like, I've seen you on the thing. Yeah. That's correct.
Good. So back to what I was saying about one truck guys and what we just touched up on. What's some advice that you can give a guy in a truck that's in the situation that you were talking about, that's struggling to get out of the truck, that just is looking forward to that cash to survive to the next day? Where can they start to kind of shift their mindset to really start stepping out of the truck in all seriousness?
I look at this stuff a little differently. So for me, in order to get out of the truck, you have to get sales. Without sales, we've already spoken on this. You have to count on leads coming in. Organic people that, they are word of mouth only, really is going to be hard to scale. I mean, it's going to take years and years and years. You have to have some type of traffic, influx of leads, some type of lead generation going on here. You get those leads, you get those sales. I would go from lead straight in, and then I would train a sales guy. One solo commission-only salesperson to go out and chase down your leads. Gives you time in the truck to go get all your stuff, you stack money, and then eventually you have a guy trained and you can expand it from there. It's really, it's leads, sales guy, commission only, and commission only, no base pay. And you can pay him a big fat commission, especially in paver sealing because you have margins, And there's other guys around here in Boca Raton area that have kids that are 18 to 24 years old that only go out and do door-to-door sales, and they're paying them 20 and 30%. But I don't know how they're able to do that too much because I haven't gotten to their business practices, but I do know they're paying them big fat commissions to go door-to-door all day long.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of kids doing that, 18 to 24 years old, just running around.
Yeah, that's a new Instagram thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone's situation's different, but if you feel like you're getting enough work, and I think the best thing is just bring someone in right away.
Yeah.
That is looking to have some work and just teach them, and you can get more done, and then eventually let him run the show.
Correct.
So like that's about it. Like,
Yeah. Start team
the biggest
building.
thing is just team building,
Yeah, that's what everyone on this podcast, with the exception of Logan, who is a newer kid in the industry, super young, but he's super ambitious. He's heading there, but everyone else is at that point of team building or a built team like JR. He's got Sailfish, he's got Deep South, which is right next door, multiple crews, but he was stuck for a long time in the owner-operator mode like you're talking about, and then it finally clicked for him. His business skills kicked in, and I was like, no, I need to start getting a system going. And then Casey, C3 Skids, obviously, he's got pest control business that's booming. He's got pressure
awesome.
washing business booming.
That's recurring revenue.
Exactly,
and multiple businesses for him. So he's doing what we're talking about, on 3 different scales. Just like you guys said, you're dabbling into other endeavors. I can edit this out if you want, but you're doing a little bit of marketing for people.
Oh, yeah, only like, it's pretty much organic, people that come to me when they're struggling and stuff,
Okay.
Shit, I seem to be setting up more people for free just because I feel bad for them half the time.
Yeah.
Let them take off. I mean, actually, we just spoke about this. Some guy, I'm setting up new ads for somebody else that 3 months ago, he was completely dead. I mean, behind on payments, truck's going to get repossessed in like 30 days. He's on his way out. I got you, bro. Let me do this real fast. You got like $150 to dump into marketing, and that was it. He's back caught up. It's like,
It used to be in this industry like 6 years ago, everyone was like trying to find a marketing guy. Oh, I need a marketing company, and I was a victim as well. And I would like pay this dude $3-4 grand for the first month, and then no results. And I'm like, shoot, okay, I got to keep throwing spaghetti at the wall. Try the next one. It's like that didn't work. But then 6 years later, I seen this change of like guys coming out with Facebook ads, people running their own Facebook ads like you guys, and just dominating with much different marketing techniques that used to not be a thing. And what used to be a thing is kind of dwindling away, in my opinion. And you guys are like on top of the new
Trial
age.
and error.
Yeah.
well, Facebook ads is it. If you're starting we had this discussion before the podcast started today. If you're going to start a business today, the very first thing you do, I mean, people aren't going to like this take. Don't file a business LLC. Don't do nothing. If you don't have the money to do it, start that business illegally and then figure out how to get it off the ground. You're going to set up a business Facebook page, start running paid ads, and then you see if you actually have a legitimate business, you have a lead source, then you make the sales, then figure out how to get the job done. It is that order. People put too much thought into this stuff. Just do it, and you'll figure it out, I promise. If you just take the initiative to go and make that first step, the very first baby step, set up a business Facebook page. Your number one on the 3 stages of marketing, your very first level is going to be Facebook and Google. Facebook being the priority so much that we don't even run Google ads because we're so behind Facebook. You can set up a business Facebook page today, start generating leads tomorrow, start closing deals the next day, and take that money to pay for these ads over here. Congratulations, you have a business.
Yeah.
Show's over.
So from your approach, would you recommend someone considering starting to maybe master Facebook ads first?
To be fair, if you wanted to, you could figure it out by yourself.
Yeah.
This is not rocket science.
Okay.
But you'll learn some stuff later on that really gets you. Get in front of the camera. Little tripod on the Amazon, little wireless microphone. You spent $50. You're in front of the camera. I guarantee you, your cost of message will go down significantly I mean, it's drastic. You get in front of that camera, that cost per message comes down so significantly, it's stupid. And your conversions will go up. People don't like going and shopping for a business with only before and after photos. Before and after photos, going to
Yes.
kill your business.
Yes.
Get away from it.
I preach that all the time to
Stop
these guys.
before and after
boring.
photos.
Yeah,
Throw them in
yep.
the trash. Start learning. I mean, you have a $3 trillion piece of military technology in front of your hand. I'd be damned if I don't learn how to use it.
Yeah.
I'd say there's 3 steps. 1, knock doors. 2, call, get on the phone, walk into businesses. 3, get your marketing set up.
Yeah.
Because it all comes together, and the more you're out there, the more you're getting
Yeah.
your face out there and your
you
business,
You can knock the
'Cause
door
so-
for free.
Yeah. The reality of it, like, people have families, everyone's
Exactly.
situation is a little different. People have a lot of stuff going on that they need that cash right away. That's going to now support their lifestyle,
Exactly.
their business. So they don't have this budget to dump in to not be on the field. So I think that's where a lot of people struggle and they get stuck in that mindset. I need to be out here earning my money. I need to be providing for my family. But they can do that just in a different
Right.
system.
Just like anyone, I'm sure we've all started the same way. Friends, family,
Yeah.
start there, and then just keep doing that and knock doors, stuff like that. Friends and family, they'll talk, post it on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, say what you're doing and all that. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about organic social media. You're probably the most advanced in this area for anyone I've done a podcast with or just spoke to about content and business in general. You understand, some of the. It seems like you've done your research. You've seen what works, what gets clicks, what has people stay on the video for more than half a second, not getting swiped off right away. How has that benefited? Just organic, nothing paid. How has the organic stuff benefited your business?
You got more organic going on than I do. You have
But you-
10,000 followers on the YouTube.
Yeah, you're the best.
But it's
Yeah,
but
you got
it's
more.
years of work.
Yeah,
Right.
that
But I've-
organic does take time.
Yeah, I've just seen the importance of it and poured into it slowly but surely. I wouldn't say if I did put all that effort into something else, like
Yeah.
maybe learning my Facebook ads,
Yeah.
it would be a better return on my investment of time. But I'm not saying I regret it because
Oh,
I
that's
enjoy
not-
the
that's not-
YouTube.
that's- yeah,
yeah,
that's
I love the organic stuff, but you're onto it, So I want to pick your brain because I preach to these guys all the time, like, hey, if you're broke, if you don't have a dollar to spend, you have 10 different platforms that you can go on for free, start blasting your brand, and like compared to 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you could not do that. It costs money to get your brand in front of people's eyes. And nowadays, if you can master it, you can get 1 million views on a video for free.
You haven't seen those guys that just do time-lapse videos and do overdubs telling a story, some weird-ass story, and they start the story off so well and they tell the story so well that by the time they're 10 seconds in the video, I mean, people haven't even they've heard their hook. They know what's going to happen in the
Yeah.
story right off the rip. They're going to tell this whole story about how this customer screwed them over, get a resolution, and then they're out. And their whole video is behind their brand. But you see those time-lapse videos take off all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yours are great.
I try, man. I found
Yeah.
a little. It was years of testing because it was just like, okay, I'm getting 200 views. This isn't working.
Right.
Let me put effort into studying what does work. So that's when I went down the rabbit hole of hooks, loops, what works to keep people's attention. And then when I started implementing that, I would look at my analytics and it's like, okay, rather than a 4-second average watch time on a 20, 30-second video, it's going to 9, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Still not going viral, but I'm like, I did something there to boost my watch time. So I did something right. And then just like you said with paid marketing, you look at your analytics, what do I have to shift? What do I have to change? And that's what I did with organic. So not that I've mastered it, but tons of viral videos from seeing my analytics adjusting, going from there, and the research of, YouTube and social media
Makes
hooks.
sense to me.
People love those pressure washing videos because they're so satisfying.
Yeah.
I get people coming to me all the time. It's like, dude, I just watch the whole thing every time. 'cause
Yeah.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah, rug washing. The people that do those rug washing.
Yeah,
videos.
exactly.
Or like cutting an edge on a sidewalk with a
Yep.
It is
with an
kind of
edger.
cool. It's like
Yeah.
I like watching pimple popping videos.
Yeah, exactly. It's like SB Mowing does
Oh, yeah.
does visual hooks.
Exactly.
So he does really well. He does story hooks where you're invested with just what he's saying right off the bat, but then you throw a surface cleaner cleaning dirty concrete in the mix at the same time, and you're that consistent, then that's a recipe
all the
for
clipping and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see clips all the time of podcast footage, just like with a satisfying video on top or something, or
like Minecraft.
Minecraft, or something like that, getting your attention.
This podcast right here is about to be clipped all to hell. You know that we're about to clip
I'm excited.
the crap out of this thing.
I'm excited. I've never had someone from these podcasts so invested in the content like I am. I never had someone like that. They just wait to see the video.
You see those racks behind you, right, that are on camera? So imagine a whole shelf, like from here front to back, of just cell phones, right? And a whole room in these kids' garage. And they literally are running all of these Instagram accounts from this. And they're right down here in Miami. And they can control all these different things all the time. Auto responses, and they know what's going on. It's pretty, what they're doing nowadays is crazy.
Really wild.
I know. I've that picture and video you sent me.
We just launched. This is new.
I was mind blowing, but then I also watched the kid, what we're talking about, clipping. He'll go on TikTok, and I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. He goes on TikTok with multiple phones, takes a popular podcast, finds something interesting, plays GTA on the bottom portion of the screen.
I was going to say GTA too.
Yeah, and he's doing that, making $40K off TikTok with recycled content that he didn't have to put in the effort to film the content.
All he did was go and put them together.
Exactly.
And it's half people just don't do anything.
Yeah.
People just don't take the effort. I want to start a business. I'm going to do this. They just never do it.
Yeah.
That's why I tell them to skip all these steps. Don't file a license. Don't do none of this stuff. Just go and start it. Telling you, you'll figure it out. I mean, obviously, don't run a business illegally. That's not what I'm telling you. But start that fucker.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the first time I cussed on the podcast. Congratulations. Start it. And that's typically me. I'm the
don't
worst.
hold back, man.
Yeah, just start the business. You can go walk dogs. You can go clean houses. You can start a whole freaking paver sealing business with $0 and subbing out people in front of you. Okay, you don't need the equipment. I didn't have the equipment.
Yeah.
I was calling guys in, but I went out there and I freaking did it.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely. That's why these people on Facebook, the Facebook groups, all the grumpy people, you guys just post how to run your business online. You share it to YouTube, and you help the new people out, and they're taking money off your table.
Nah, we want a bunch of people. We want as many people as you can bring to the market.
Yes.
There is no such thing as oversaturation. I don't want to hear about it. Anybody who can't compete can go home. I used this analogy yesterday. You have one gas station on a street corner. You know what happens? Another gas station goes right across the street. You know what happens after that? Wawa comes on the other side of the street and puts these both out of business.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can't compete, be Wawa.
Exactly.
Okay? Who cares? Bring as many people as you want to. They're going to tell your customers what going on. Customers are going to have more education on your product before you get there. More people are in the market, and then only the strong survives.
Yeah, correct. That's what I always say.
Doesn't matter.
If you're new into business and I was helping you, I can give you all the secret sauce. I can give you a checklist. Hey, do this. This will make you at least 100K next year. I promise. I can give you that, but that doesn't mean you're going to go take it and run with it. And the information I give you is not going to change the new person, their drive and ambition. But why not equip you with the right tools? So if you are one of these hungry guys like us that want to go out and get it, why not just get you a little bit ahead of the curve with some knowledge? Because I'm not going to change whether you're a go-getter or not. I'm just going to help you if you really are one.
I have zero issue with these companies like Trident training all these people. I hope you train as many as you can. At least they're not out there just winging it on the first job. They have training behind them. Send them out there. They'll figure it out. Most people ain't going to make it.
Yeah.
But at least you're doing, and they're onto a good product. Trident's awesome with their customer support. Danielle's the best. Everybody knows this. If you're in Florida and you deal with Danielle, rock star. Okay? Trident should be lucky to have her. Okay? And that, that's more than you can say for a lot of people at a lot of these places. Danielle's a rock star, and everybody knows it. Anybody says differently? Well, I don't trust your opinion anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Jack were talking about it. I've tried all the products in the game over the 6 years. I've tried products that don't even exist anymore because they didn't make it.
Yeah, they're cool.
And it's like, I look for something that's going to give results, but more importantly, someone that can back me as a company. And that's because at the end of the day, they're very similar. You find a product, you're like, ooh, like you were saying, Cobble Lock, high gloss, right?
No, I was speaking about that. Yep. I do like that Cabo Lock high gloss.
Okay.
It is a
You were
rock star.
talking about blank,
Yeah,
but
you
it's
don't get the support behind Surface Logic
Yeah.
like you do over there at Trident, okay?
Correct.
Your board, I mean, even when, I'm like, damn, I would probably use more Cabo Lock high gloss had Danielle been at Surface Logics. But no, 95% of the stuff we're going to be using
yeah.
Cat 5.
Getting at my point there is you found with the customer support those people that are backing you with more than just a good product, because they're all good products.
Yeah.
You know, the main 3-4 they're all good products.
I agree.
It's not like you're gonna get a better job
Exactly.
to the customer eye. You're not gonna get much of a better job. To our eye, it's like, ooh, I see a little bit more sheen. I like that. But to the customer, it's like, you do a good job. You clean it, you sand it, you seal it with the correct amount of material. It's gonna look beautiful no matter what.
Exactly. And having the people at the companies where you're using their products, communication and having someone answer the phone you can become friends with is just,
Yeah.
it's a big thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's shift a little bit. I want to get into the Facebook groups with Hunter. You disrupted the market, I would say. Like, between all the groups that we're in, you see who sticks around. I've seen plenty come and go. You came in quick, came in hot. You get in the controversy of all the companies. Just tell me the reasoning for getting into.
I really don't. I mean, I bust Seal Thing's balls all the time.
Yeah.
But I actually kind of like them. You know what I'm talking about? I give them such a hard time
Okay.
all the time because it started with, I swear to God. So people started talking about Seal Thing failing. This was years ago, right? And so now I don't think their product's ever going to, I think they got it down to a science, but I still bust their balls on that.
Okay.
And one guy was sassy one time, and now I just keep busting his balls. But I promise, I like Seal Thing. Swear to God. I like Seal Thing. Seal Thing.
Clearing that up.
Yeah, I like Seal Thing. I just be giving them a hard time.
Yeah.
It's good.
I just be giving them a hard time. But no, we've only been here, it seems like everybody says the same thing. We came out of nowhere because we kind of did.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
met Danielle in February, and Danielle said this. She's like, oh, yeah, I just met you guys in February. I'm like, Danielle, because we started in January. Okay?
Yeah.
This is only a year in, and a lot can happen in a year. But it's because those Facebook ads, you start taking over a marketplace, you'll quickly make established guys not like you. Okay, very, very quickly.
Absolutely.
That's definitely apparent. Okay, doesn't mean some people in our area are definitely on my approved, because I will, if we're the first estimate on a job site, I will give customers an approved, like people like, here's the other estimates you should be getting, because I know these people are going to do a job correctly, regardless of what they think about me personally, because I'm kind of brash with my personality, this, that, and the other. But there's only competition at the bottom.
Yeah.
There's people that care about competitors are really just because they're just worried about it. There's no competition.
Yeah.
Give everybody the leg up they need, regardless of what they have going on.
Yeah.
For sure, there's enough business out here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
promise.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we can't even get to what we have right now. We need more. We need more people in the field. We don't need more customers calling us.
Yeah.
We need to do
Yeah.
with less customers.
Yeah.
But we keep the same ads going.
Correct.
But no.
Yeah, it's like the old saying, the only competition is yourself.
Yeah.
And it's so cheesy and old, but it's so
That's for
true.
sure.
Yeah, because over the years, you see people come and go. That's never going to change.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, like, you've been in it long enough. I'm sure you've seen a company rise and fall already within a year. It's
Exactly.
going to happen every year.
We're lucky to be here. What are you talking about? We barely made it.
You guys have got a system, though.
We barely made it.
You're onto something, though. And you guys both are very driven, and that's, like we were talking about earlier, it doesn't matter if you're a great tech on the field. Everyone can pretty much provide a cleaning, sanding, sealing service that's in this industry. That's not the bread and butter to lasting out here. It's the drive, the ambition, the systems behind the company like you guys are working on, but they'll come and go.
Definitely.
And
You got to want it in this business.
Oh, yeah.
Summertime comes around, lots of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that summer.
Yeah.
Thomas died last summer. I was out there with him. I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't like that one bit.
Yeah.
Consistency, just keep on going, It's going to be tough at times, but as long as you're driven and keep going every day is a new day. Just get up and attack the day.
You
Yeah.
got to automate your systems. I mean, having a CRM you can trust, you can use whatever you want. We use Jobber.
Yeah.
Probably I would not use Go High Level if you're just a startup. I wouldn't, even though it sounds cool, but that's more complicated.
Yeah, you don't need it, yeah.
User friendly, startup, base, sending out emails, collecting payments, Jobber. You can get all your stuff in the system. It looks professional when you deliver it to a customer. You're setting yourself apart from the other guy over here that's maybe texting an estimate to somebody,
Yeah.
because you'll get that in pressure washing.
Yeah.
We're already in the most, down here in South Florida, we're in the most diluted market in the country.
Yeah.
We get less per square foot than anywhere else, and you're trying to tell these customers why this guy for 90 cents is going to screw 'em.
Yeah.
Okay? You still got guys, water-based acrylic, going to Home Depot, H&C
Yep.
Clarishield. We get those guys, and you're stripping them. You know, we call it the Miami Special. Anybody south of Hollywood is typically going, just stay out of that market. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood North, go from the Hollywood up, you know. Even Hollywood's pushing it. But
People
no,
are like, the price I got is less than 50% of what you just gave me. Like,
yeah, we get those. But hey,
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to sell you at that point.
Exactly.
Good luck.
Let's not waste
It's not
either
a
of
big
our
deal.
times
I mean,
here.
we're lining up. Some guys, some estimators are on 5, 6, 7. We've even pushed 8, 9, and 10 estimates in a day. We're just racking them up. It does. I mean, even though you try to follow it, that would give them all attention. It's kind of hard to do so all the time. So you have to have automated follow-ups. So your system's going to automatically follow up, and then you have to send mass marketing emails later on, and then try to resell that customer a year later. And so, say you seal a customer. I sealed their driveway in January last year. Then you're going to sell them a maintenance service
Exactly.
next year. You're going to turn whatever that cost to acquire that customer could have been, let's call it $80 for you.
Mm-hmm.
I just resold that customer, and that cost to customer acquisition just went to $40 for that customer.
Correct.
I like that number a little bit better.
Yeah.
Sounds better than $80. I mean, some of these guys got cost to customer acquisition up to $125 and don't even realize it because their marketing guy's not telling them. Because you have to assume the marketing guy's price into that budget. So if you're paying a guy $1,000 to $2,500 for that first month setup, you got to calculate that into your expense. So if that guy can't get your cost per message way down there and your cost of customer acquisition way down there, then you're already in hot water as it is.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I would spend $20,000, and I'm in marketing, mind you. I would spend $20,000. I'd waste it trying to bake myself better at ads and then going and give it to somebody else. I mean, even though I sell marketing to people,
Yeah.
that sounds stupid to say, but that's what I would do personally.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the time for it, I mean, I
Yeah.
would gladly set up your ads, but I can only run at a certain capacity. I can only take so many guys. Some other guys can have 50, 100, 200 clients in a marketing agency.
Yeah.
They don't care who fails.
Yeah.
They don't care.
And like you said, you'd recommend someone to go learn it with, even if they
Yeah.
had a huge budget. But just like our service, some people don't want to. Some people are happy to pay the money. Like if I find a marketing company that's got my cost per click low and they're doing their job effectively, then I'll gladly pay them. Even though, yeah, it probably would be beneficial for someone to learn, but like if you're doing the service correctly, why not go pay someone that, but like we talked about, could waste a lot of money, especially when you're jumping into this business. Typically your budget's not sky
money
high.
and
doors.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy your time back. But you got to knock the doors first. If that's your first stage, go knock the damn doors, bro. If you're scared to knock the doors, I do understand that. That does, getting shut down and getting that door shut in your face is not easy to handle consistently. It takes a special
On to the
kind.
next.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
mean-
guys that have. We actually, when we train new sales guys, we stick them on doors at first. Swear to God, I want to know if they're
Break them in.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on with them for a few days.
Yeah.
But I'm putting them on stuff. Getting them some sales, getting them moving with other stuff because I'll go with them and piggyback them when they close the deals and give them the commission to keep them moving. And I want to see what's going on with them personally. If you ain't quitting, I like you.
Yeah.
You never know whose door you're going to knock on. I've learned that you never know, and we've landed some big projects off door knocking, and then that could lead to another one down the road. Yeah, I got your number from so-and-so when it was actually you knocked their door like 8 months ago.
We just closed one this morning because you knocked the neighbor the other day.
Yeah.
We just closed one on the way here on the podcast, just closed.
Good.
I texted my phone. You're closing a deal because he knocked the door. If you're on a house, look across the street, knock all of those damn doors. You're working on a house, knock every single door you see across the street, go left to right, 3 or 4 houses on both sides.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that, you're missing out. You're already an approved contractor or approved vendor for
Correct.
that neighbor. They're going to ask your neighbor if you did a good job.
Yeah.
Even if you're more expensive than another estimate they might have, you already did a good job on their neighbor's house. They're not taking a risk on somebody else for $100, $200, $300 less. They're not
Correct.
doing that.
Yeah.
You would have to, and somebody out there doing sales would have to significantly overcome a lot of obstacles to outsell you when you already did their neighbor's house for anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then they'll see the final product and be like, damn, that looks good.
Yeah. And like you said, for a couple $100 extra bucks, the customer you're searching for is going to
Even if you were higher.
gladly, yeah, exactly.
Even.
They'll gladly pay like there's a good job. That's what I want. It's a little bit more expensive, but just when we buy any product, we find what we like, and we're like, I'm sticking with that. Yeah, there's cheaper coffee, there's cheaper milk, there's cheaper meat, but we find what we like, and we're going to pay the extra money. Same
Pay
thing.
for quality.
Exactly. Yeah, especially, like you said, when you're on that property and you have the proven result already displayed for the next person to see. They're going to absolutely, if they're your customer, they're going to pay that little bit of extra money.
Exactly.
Yep, that's for sure.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to these two guys bringing invaluable insight. Like, there's so much nuggets that you guys dropped for all of us to implement. I tell this on every podcast. I say this on every podcast. I learn something new. I will never be under the impression that I know it all. I'm right there with you guys. These guys are crushing it. So much to take from this episode.
One of my posts is taking off right now, talking about the people being pissed off about flooding the market. I just posted. It was set to auto post this morning. Yeah.
This guy's going viral as we speak.
Yeah.
But
No, not.
YouTube, as always, much love. I'll see you in the next episode. If you guys enjoyed this content, give it a thumbs up. Let's push it to the right entrepreneurs. And that's it for now. Thank you,
Hell
guys.
yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
It's a good episode. Excited for this.
Awesome.
Now you guys have a million clips.
Oh, you are about to get.